You're watching an NDTV special focus on the big day of the battle for the statesmen. In just about an hour from now, voting will end in at least 3 of the big states that are going to the polls and the Union Territory of Puducherry. The people of Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Assam and Puducherry would have decided who their new government is. They just have to wait till the 2nd of May to know the answer to that question. And also, of course, in West Bengal, we're now moving further and further deeper into that huge sprawling 8-phase election with another phase going to the polls today. And so in that sense, it's a crucial day, particularly for MK Stalin and EPS in Tamil Nadu, for Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, who's seeking a second term, a record second term in Kerala as he takes on the Congress-led front there. And of course, the BJP and the Congress, the two fronts going head-to-head in Assam, where again the Congress is trying to dislodge a second term for the BJP. But already we're seeing allegations of cash distribution in Tamil Nadu. Now, this has been a problem in Tamil Nadu in election after election, and now it is the Kamal Hassan party, the Makkal Needhi Mayyam, which is sharing images like this, which actually shows some kind of a chit which they claim is being given to voters in Coimbatore, which is Kamal Hassan's own constituency, which has the name of some kind of local store, it appears. And what they're claiming is that the BJP is distributing these chits to voters, which these voters can then encash or exchange for goods, presumably at at this store. And the BJP candidate there has tweeted a rebuttal. I will put that up on the screen for you as well, the moment we can get it, where she's essentially said that the DMK and the MNM, Kamal Hassan's party, are coming up with false allegations. Now, we'd actually spoken earlier to Kamal Hassan and his family about these allegations. They'd actually formally complained about this to the Election Commission. This is what they said.
Sir, you have made a complaint regarding bribing of voters. What do you want to say? What was the response of the returning officer?
They said they'll do the needful and do their best. We are not protesting, we are not stopping anything, but we have complained.
In which booth that you have alleged, and which party is bribing the voters?
We have certain problems in certain booths, but basically the main complaint is that a free-for-all distribution is happening all around since yesterday night, and they are doing it very deviously and very quickly. So there isn't enough time to call, but we have caught hold of some tokens and methodology. The modus operandi is very clear, and we have told them that they are looking into it.
So now you will be going to the other polling booth?
Yes, I will be.
Thank you, sir. So, ma'am, you along with your father has come here to complain with the returning officer about the allegation.
I'm accompanying him. I haven't complained.
Okay. So what's your message for the voters of the constituencies Coimbatore South?
Well, definitely with all the work that's been put in and the efforts, we're looking forward to a positive result, and Dad is as well. My father is, but obviously they've come. I'm just here to support him as a daughter, and I hope that everything is done the right way in every one of the voting booths.
Thank you, ma'am. They have got some evidence showing that voters are being bribed in his constituency, and that's why he has come all the way to the returning officer to make his complaint, to make a formal complaint. And according to him, that the returning officer has assured him that he will be looking into the complaint. With camera person Vijay Shah, this is Arvind Gunasekar for NDTV.
All right, Arvind Gunasekar actually joins me on the phone line now. Arvind, we saw what you shared, those images that the MNM is claiming is evidence of cash or token distribution. But frankly, Arvind, we know the huge amounts that are routinely distributed in Tamil Nadu in the elections. Are these tokens really the only proof that parties like the MNM have been able to come up with to show that?
Yeah, Vasu, it looks like, at least as of this minute, the Makkal Needhi Mayyam Chief Kamal Hassan has given this as a evidence to the returning officer, saying that a devious plan has been put in place, wherein tokens are being given to the voters. The voters, after they cast their votes, they can go to this particular place and then they can encash this particular token. So if you could see the token, this has been given as an evidence by the Makkal Needi Mayyam to the Election Commission. So we are just relying on their complaint. So that's the prima facie complaint, and this is not the first time. In fact, according to them, there was a similar kind of plan that was put in place earlier when R.K. Nagar went for by-polls. Even there also a 20 rupee note was given as a token. But this time, this Sri Ganapati agency is something that is written in this white sheet are being given as a token to the voters that can be encashed. So that's the complaint of both, not just Makkal Needi Mayyam, but also Congress candidate. Even Congress candidate in this constituency, he also went on a protest. But on the other hand side, what BJP is claiming is that all these are baseless allegations. According to BJP candidate Vanadi Sreenivasan, who is the National Mahila Morcha president of BJP, she has tweeted saying that all this, both the Makkal Needi Mayyam and Congress are staging a drama because they have got fear that they are losing. They are coming up with a story to justify their defeat. So that's the stand of BJP. Whereas Makkal Needi Mayyam, what they are saying is that they will be taking this forward even to the Delhi, even to the Chief Election Commissioner, if the returning officer does not take any action on their complaint now.
All right, Arvind, thanks very much indeed for joining us. So, battle for the states, we have Manu Sundaram of the DMK is here with us. We also have Chandrakumar Bose, former Vice President, Senior Leader of the West Bengal BJP is also with us. Adil Singh Bopara of the Congress is also expected to join us, but Riju Datta, member of the TMC, is with us, and also joining us on the phone line, Kovai Satyan, AIADMK spokesperson. Manu Sundaram, this allegation of caste distribution, because now Tamil Nadu has voted. I mean, there's so much to talk about, but just starting off with this, this is a problem. We've spoken about this before, but would it be fair to say that all parties, Manu Sundaram, are guilty of this, including the DMK?
Most certainly not. You would have noticed even when you were here, and I'm sure Arvind Gunasekar has sent you extant ground reports, that there's been a groundswell of opposition against the BJP ADMK. This cash for tokens is something that the BJP seems to have come up with. In fact, last week, in the very same constituency, which is Coimbatore South, where Vanati is contesting, BJP members were caught with giving gold coins to voters. Now, this is a novel method, but it is completely futile. You know, the BJP is only doing this to try to make sure that they come at least second, because they're losing by all reports. And this must be seen or viewed in the context of EVMs being transported in a BJP candidate's car. This is a party which has now developed a very dubious reputation for, for every underhanded means to win elections. So therefore, I think it is quite obvious what Vanati Sreenivasan is doing. In fact, she herself, I think, was guilty of some other poll violations this morning when she went to the polling booth to cast her vote. Right.
Kovai Satyan of the ADMK is joining us on the phone line. Kovai Satyan, how would you respond to this? Your ally is being accused of distributing coupons or gold coins. The DMK says this is desperation by the BJP and ADMK because, you're losing in today's election, today's vote.
No, it looks like I was hearing to a conversation from a fellow counsel for DMK on May 2nd when the election is out. They want to list out the reasons why they failed, why they couldn't win. They would say that no gold coins were distributed, this violation, that violation. They would list out few reasons for their failure. So I think Manu Sundaram is preparing for the same.
But are you denying the fact that there's been any cash distribution by leaders of your party or candidates of your party?
Mr. Manu Sundaram, their party is known to distribute cash to the police personnel with their name written on an envelope cover to the entire police station in Trichy. When the senior leader, there was an IT raid to one of the senior leaders, Mr. Well, when 5 crores were seized. So would they deny it? And there were all forms of full model code of conduct norms being violated. In every household, they stuck a sticker of MK Stalin in Chennai. And today, their leader's son, the prince, wore a shirt violating the model code of conduct with their.
You're talking of Udaynidhi. Let Manu Sundaram. Okay, let Manu Sundaram respond to that.
Well, I'll respond in two ways. One is, I've not heard a denial at all from Mr. Satyan and his party. What they've just indulged in is a standard old trick of whataboutery. Section 123 of the RP Act clearly defines what a bribe is, and what Ms. Vanati Sreenivasan seems to be doing falls entirely into that. Now, with regard to any other complaint that they have, they must first actually understand that the DMK symbol is the rising sun. So if any DMK candidate has just a T-shirt or a shirt holding, with a person standing with the DMK flag, that is not actually the symbol of the DMK party. So that is not barred. What is barred is the two-leaf symbol, which Mafo Pandirajan, the Avadi candidate, seems to have taken into the polling booth. What is equally barred by law is what Vanati Sreenivasan did, which is holding a badge of showing the lotus.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it seems like they've resorted to all these underhanded means once again, but the writing is very clearly on the wall.
Okay, you claim the writing is clearly on the wall for the ADMK BJP in Tamil Nadu. We'll have to wait and see. But in West Bengal, Chandra Kumar Bose, is this now becoming increasingly challenging for the BJP as you move, in this multi-phase elections, as you move further and further away from the core areas where the BJP did well last time, in this particular phase, for instance, and we actually have a graphic put up where we can try and show it to you, if that's possible, if that graphic is ready, about the BJP's challenge in West Bengal, where in the first two phases, this is your performance in the Lok Sabha elections in terms of assembly segments that you led in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. What are the assembly segments you led in the first three phases of the West Bengal polls? And in the first two phases, you did extremely well in 2019. By the time you enter the third phase, which is the kind of Calcutta surrounding areas phase, which voted today, your votes start to drop. Are you worried that as you further proceed northwards in this multi-phase election, the BJP is going to find it harder and harder to not just replicate its 2019 performance, but you have to improve on that performance?
Yeah, Srinivas, your analysis to an extent is right, but not entirely. You see, since 2019, the Bharatiya Janata Party has actually improved its position right across the state of West Bengal. In 2019 Lok Sabha, we won 18 seats. So on an average, if you see the assembly segments, it's around 125 assembly segments. But the position today is far superior and much improved compared to the Lok Sabha polls. You see, this is basically the pulse of the people that we have analyzed. People have, spontaneously come and supported the Bharatiya Janata Party when we do campaigning in the districts. Kolkata is still a difficult area, I agree. But if you see the districts, people have wholeheartedly supported the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the analysis that we have conducted, and even the exit polls, if you see, they are giving BJP the advantage. But the people's verdict is the final verdict.
Not exit polls, you mean opinion polls?
To vote in all the 8 opinion polls.
Opinion polls, are they? Well, many of them are actually saying the TMC is winning. I mean, at least the opinion polls that I've seen, they're all saying the TMC is winning. I've not seen any which is saying the BJP is winning. So,
well, they can give their opinion, but as you say, it is only an opinion.
Yes.
But coming to the ground reality,
yes,
we find that BJP is definitely in a positive position as far as the state elections are concerned. And let us wait for all the 8 phases to be completed.
Right.
And let the people give their final verdict. And
okay, but the fact is
on 2nd of May.
Right, but Riju Datta, are you worried with the fact that the BJP is, if you see the Prime Minister again, there is a momentum. It appears that he's spearheading the BJP with. He's again back in West Bengal today. He's campaigning obviously for the next phase. And today, once again, he taunted Mamata Banerjee. He said that, Didi, you are appealing to all the Muslims to vote as a bloc. Don't divide the Muslim vote. Vote for the TMC. And he said this is a sign that the Muslim vote is also drifting away from the TMC.
See, the bottom line in Bengal is, BJP as an opposition, they came very strong because in 2019 during the Lok Sabha elections. The reason because that was the general elections for the country. So it is very, it is not fair to compare 2019 and 2021 election because the logistics and the perception and the optics are completely different. This is the election for the state. This is the election to choose the captain of the state who will take the state forward. And BJP, from the day one, they do not have an agenda. They do not have a clear face against Mamata Banerjee. And the card that they have is that the religion card. And the only way BJP even has the faintest chance of winning Bengal is if there is 100% polarization in the state, which is definitely not possible. The bottom line is people do not believe the central government anymore. From their failed projects, central government projects, to the farmers movement, to people, to the demonetization, to GST, they have failed everywhere. So people have basically lost faith in the central
let me just get I see
regime.
Adil Boparai of the Congress is also, I think, joining us, and we'll just go across to him in a second. I just want to get a quick rebuttal there from Chandra Bose. Chandra Bose, you want to respond to that? Back to polarization, the Prime Minister again bringing up this whole Hindu-Muslim business?
Well, I think we must give full marks to Mamata Banerjee for doing appeasement politics, appeasement of a particular community, trying to polarize the state.
Right.
So I think there we cannot really compete. See, it is about good governance. This election is about good governance for Bengal.
Right.
It's about industry for Bengal, investment, job creation. These are the issues. Let's not only talk about, see, polarization politics has been happening.
So you do, they do Muslim polarization, you do Hindu polarization. Is that the sort of choice really?
Well, I personally don't believe in this kind of politics, but all political parties are
your party does
for polarization.
Let's just go to Adil Singh Boparai. Adil Singh Boparai of the Congress. Again, with the Congress, we're really sort of wondering how you're approaching this election, because it's, every election is crucial for you given the electoral setbacks you've had, but we were just doing a tally of the rallies so far that we could cull from the websites of political parties. We'll put that up on the screen for you if we can. Prime Minister and Amit Shah have together held 64 rallies across these 4 states in the Union Territory of Puducherry. The Prime Minister himself holding 28, Amit Shah 36. This is as of 6th April. Priyanka and Rahul Gandhi have only held 18 rallies, 18, Adil Boparai, and also curiously have completely ignored West Bengal.
Well, Sreenivasan, as far as the Congress party is concerned, we've gone to the people with a very positive mandate, with a very positive agenda. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, as far as both these states are concerned, since there was polling in both these states today, the Congress is likely to make a comeback in Kerala, increase voter turnout to benefit UPF.
Yes.
The people of the state are tired. They're tired.
No, but I just want to
politics.
But my question was, why has the Congress leadership completely ignored West Bengal? Have you given up on West Bengal?
As far as West Bengal is concerned, there are still several phases to go. And you will see our leadership will go to West Bengal because TMC and the BJP are two sides of the same coin. And it was ironic that Mr. Bose was talking about development and job creation when Mr. Modi has run down the economy of this country to the ground. The central tax, the Modi tax, has never been higher in the history of independent India. Today, unemployment has hit the roof. Job creation is nil. So for Mr. Chandra Bose to mouth homilies is completely off the facts on the ground. As far as the Congress party is concerned, like I said, the TMC and the BJP offer politics of hate, violence and divisiveness. The Congress party...
but Adil, you can criticize the BJP till the kingdom come. The fact is that on the ground, is the Congress providing that alternative? Because in Kerala, where you say that the Congress is coming back, all the opinion polls, the ground perception is that there's a strong chance that Pinarayi Vijayan could come back. There's a strong chance the BJP could win Assam. At best, you could piggyback onto a DMK victory in Tamil Nadu, and that's it.
No,
and you might be losing Puducherry.
Sreenivasan, as far as Kerala is concerned, if you look at the history of Kerala, it's always been a revolving door policy. But we're not just banking on that. We have a positive agenda, and our agenda is finding resonance amongst the voters. Right. When it comes to Bengal, and which is very critical, the BJP has the benefit of the entire central government apparatus. They have the benefit of a large section of the media. They have the benefit of institutions. So that is why their rallies are amplified. Their canvassing is amplified. On the Congress, contrary, the Congress party is working on the ground. We are not covered as much as the BJP, but we are certainly doing our bit in ensuring that
there could be two views on that. I'm running out of time. I just want to quickly come back to Manu Sundaram for just a second. That Manu Sundaram, are you just like the Congress appears to be saying we are banking on this kind of revolving, rotating strike politics in Kerala? Are you also banking too heavily on a certain kind of sub-nationalism in Tamil Nadu, where you're sort of hoping that the anger or the perceived anger against the BJP will get you to win? Because when I was there, I heard Stalin and all your leaders say this repeatedly, that a vote for the ADMK is a vote for the BJP. We're seeing that in West Bengal as well. An attempt to portray the BJP as outsiders, to play to a certain kind of sub-nationalistic sentiment. Are you banking on that too much in Tamil Nadu?
Well, what you call as sub-nationalism, I would term it as a rejection of fascism and a rejection of the Hindi, Hindutva, and sort of Delhi-based or Nagpur-based imperialist policies of the BJP. But yeah, if you're happy with the word sub-nationalism, then I can go with that. But it's not that we are only we've not reduced our entire campaign to just that rejection of the BJP. The DMK, by and large, has provided hope. It's provided hope for Tamil Nadu to revive from the terrible economic plight and economic mess that this government has led it to. And also we provide hope for better social harmony and better sort of socio-economic indicators where Tamil Nadu has slipped in the last 10 years. So we've not just banked on a rejection of Modi and the Hindutva fascism that he espouses, but also on the kind of Dravidian brand socio-economic development that the DMK would bring to the state.
Okay. Well, interestingly poised. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. But we'll be back in about an hour or so to once again focus on this big voting day in the battle for the states. Join us then.